One of the things about experience is that it's the best teacher you've ever got. It's better than any book on any subject at all. I could write a book on schizophrenia, but unless people have the experience of some of the things that I write in the book, they won't learn.
We were doing a symposium for mental health in Orange, and we were looking for somebody to present the lived experience portion of it, and somebody put me on to Jeff. Me and him met up and we decided that rather than him doing a speech, we would film him, and in that way he could introduce the film clip. It would be less nerve-wracking, and we were envisaging a couple of minutes presentation that would be shown that day and no one would ever see it again. And from that we were able to grow it into a reflective tool that has been seen by a couple of hundred people across the district and has hopefully made a difference.
It's mainly been clinicians that have attended the session, so they watch the clip, they have opportunities to ask questions, Jeff has an opportunity to reflect back what he hears, and often the sessions vary each time depending on what themes different participants pull out. So it's semi-structured in that we've got the DVD resource that people review and kind of some guiding questions about recovery, but really it depends on what the clinicians identify as important to them. I think because this has been a new approach for people, it has been a challenge at times for people to feel that they can be open and vulnerable about their own practice because they don't want to feel like they've done something wrong or they haven't been working, with the recovery model. So I think as it goes on and people get more familiar with it, they'll engage more in that process because it's quite it's one thing us sitting there saying to someone about the recovery language and how we speak, but then when you have a consumer saying, well, what it actually means in real life to experience that, it's been quite a journey, I think, for people, even from the beginning of a session till the end of the session and becoming more comfortable about how they engage.
Since watching The Road to Recovery, the importance of language and the importance of hope, because Jeff really talks about both of those things and they're the big messages that he has. How a certain way of saying something can really affect a person, even just an innocuous question like you're hearing voices, how that can really negatively impact on a patient. It's wonderful to see him grow in it. And the number of people I've heard come up at the end of sessions and shake his hand and say, after a full conference, that is the one thing I will remember today. So to just see him shine is wonderful.
You'd be surprised the impact of simply having somebody with a lived experience being the presenter. It's much harder to be stigmatised and prejudiced if the person in the room with you has been in hospital and has had that life experience. I don't think that could be underestimated.
Fraser always comes to the film showing, and I always go to the film showing because they wanted me to co-facilitate because clinicians had never been through that experience.
Well, the first time I actually watched it, I was working in an inpatient setting and we just received an email offering it as a professional development activity. And I'm always very interested when it talks about a consumer's story, so I was very keen to attend. I think sometimes, like when we're in the hospital, it's really hard to envisage what a client's life looks like in the community. And we don't often get that privilege of journeying with them on their recovery journey and seeing them improve. And I think it's really important as a clinician when you're working in the hospital to be able to see a client when they've got better and to see what they've achieved on their journey. It's reminded me of the importance of the recovery model, and I think I had the head knowledge, I had seen it in practice, but I've got a deeper belief in the importance of it now.
The main point about this particular reflective tool or video is to give people hope and a way of actually keeping that hope alive, because you can actually get better from mental problems.
We've got the formal evaluations, but sometimes when we're running these sessions, you can kind of see, the light coming on, and somebody sort of realising that this is about their shared humanity, and the fact that that the experience that Jeff has had and their own experience, what is the experience of being a human being and being alive with the ups and downs and the tragedies that is. And I really feel strongly that the realisation of that and treating each other with empathy, that's how people recover. Or at least that's how the work we do can help people to recover.